Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Cold Steel Lucky 2. So this is a two-bladed slip-joint gentleman's knife from Cold Steel. I know it's definitely an interesting category coming from Cold Steel. With Cold Steel, you'll probably think of EDC knives like this, the Code 4, with an impossible break lock, as well as an aggressive tanto point, and just being big overall. And of course, who could forget the Espada XL, the folding pocket sword, but looks like Cold Steel also makes gentleman's knives, and pretty good ones at that. The Lucky 2 is an Italian-made two-handed slip joint knife that's made out of premium S35VN steel as well as carbon fiber scales. Before we dive deeper into the Cold Steel Lucky 2, let's do a size comparison up against some of my favorite EDC knives. Here it is up against the Benchmade bug out as well as the Benchmade mini bug out. As you can see, the Lucky 2 is definitely on the smaller side, even in contrast to the Benchmade mini bug out. Here it is up against the Civivi Elementum. Here it is up against the large Chris Reeve Sabenza 31, and here it is up against the Spyderco Para 3. As you can see, the Lucky 2 is a very small knife in comparison to EDC knife size. The Lucky 2 is definitely more comparable to Swiss Army knives. Here's the Classic SD. Of course, the Classic SD only has one blade. And here it is up against the Huntsman. The Huntsman does have two blades. Obviously, it's a multi-tool and has a lot more tools, but it's cool to compare it up against another multi-tool with two blades. And lastly, here it is up against a ruler. Of course, I'm just going to measure it from handle to one blade since you're not going to be using both blades at once. And it comes in a little around 6 inches in overall length. And then in terms of sharpened blade length, it comes in just under 2.5 inches. Both knife blades are the same size in terms of sharpened blade length. Of course, the other side is a serrated blade, and for the most part, it's fully serrated with the exception of near the tip where it is just some plain edge, but it also comes in under 2.5 inches. And lastly, let's throw it up on a scale to see how much it weighs. As you can see, it is a very lightweight knife, coming in at only 1.2 ounces. While it is a gentleman's pocket knife, it does come with a pocket clip, which isn't usually standard in slip joints, let alone double-bladed slip joints, but it is there for an option to carry. I think it's a really nice touch, and you can remove the pocket clip or just keep it on because it does also come with a little felt slip for the knife. So if you want to just throw it in this protective slip and then throw the knife in your pocket, there is this option. This is a slip joint. Both blades have two detents. You can open up the blade to here and then open it up into user position. The blades are both made out of S35VN premium stainless steel. It's a powdered steel. It's a balanced powdered steel. It has great stainlessness, great toughness, as well as good edge retention. The main blade is in a plain edge drop point, whereas the secondary blade is in a fully serrated drop point. The knife is made in Italy, which is really nice, and the handles are made out of carbon fiber, and it's really just two pieces of carbon fiber with the slip joint mechanism in the middle, making it very thin and lightweight. The slip joint walks and talks really well, and you can close the knife one-handed because of the detent. Just do that and then slam it close, and boom, you're able to close it with one hand. But for the most part, you are going to use both hands when opening and closing the knife, it being a slip joint, but there is that nice option. The Lucky 2 does also feature some finger grooves in the actual handles, but the grooves aren't really used effectively because there is that other blade in the way, so when you are gripping the knife, your fingers aren't really even in the grooves. They're on top of the other blade. I know you're not doing the most intense tasks with a small gentleman's slip joint, but I think that was kind of weird because it looks like finger grooves, but you are your fingers are resting on top of the secondary blade, unless you do also open that secondary blade, and then you can take advantage of the finger grooves, but then it's a little awkward with the other blade sticking out on the other end. What's also nice about this version of a two-bladed gentleman slip joint is that it does use Torx hardware in both the pocket clip and the actual scales and mechanism, so you can take it apart and do some maintenance, whereas traditional slip joints are usually pin construction and you aren't really able to take it apart that easily. I managed to get this knife on sale for around $60 on Midway USA. This knife usually retails for around like $60 to $70, and I think it's a great value gentleman slip joint knife. For me personally, I don't really spend anything more than $100 on a slip joint, just due to the fact that there is no locking mechanism, and I'd rather use that money on a locking knife, especially from Cold Steel with their very strong Atlas lock and Triad locks. But when it comes to an Italian-made slip joint, I think close to that $60 mark is an excellent value. It being Italian-made, it having that awesome S35VN blades and the carbon fiber handles, I think this is a quality-made slip joint with premium materials for a great price. And I think despite it being a Cold Steel knife, I think it fits well in fancier occasions, and it won't really scare people when you take it out, especially it being a two-handed slip joint and it being very small and unassuming. So what do you guys think of the Cold Steel Lucky 2? I'd definitely like to know down in the comments. So that's gonna do it for this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Follow me on my socials. Consider leaving a super thanks in the tip jar below if you really loved the review, and thanks for watching.